Welcome into Seattle Seahawks Today. I am Tom Downey, and the Seahawks 2021 schedule has been officially released, so let's break it down game by game and more in depth after that. The Colts in Week 1 on the road to kick off the year, home against the Titans, and then back-to-back road games in Weeks 3 and Weeks 4 against Minnesota and against San Francisco. Then a string of prime-time football games. Week 5 against the Rams on Thursday Night Football again. Week 6 at the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Week 7, that is against the Saints on Monday Night Football. Week 8, Jacksonville, a game that, it's Trevor Lawrence, but they should still very much find a way to win. Week 9, that is a bye-week game for the Seahawks. Week 10 is at Green Bay. Week 11 is home against Arizona. Week 12 is at Washington, Monday Night Football, as I kind of accidentally block it a little bit there. There we go. Week 13, Sunday Night Football. Kind of weird how the games were all structured there with multiple, the big primetime games in a row. Week 13, San Francisco. Week 14 against the Houston Texans, that's on the road, same as is in Week 15 against the LA Rams. Week 16, home against the Chicago Bears, then against another NFC North team, the Detroit Lions in Week 17, and then Seattle wraps things up in Week 18 at the Arizona Cardinals. So we've gone through it one time here. Make your predictions for me in the comments section. Predict the Seahawks record in 2020. Remember, 17 games this year, so make sure you're not saying like 11-5, for example. But get your votes in for me in the comments section. All right, now let's go a little bit more in depth on all of these games here. Week 1 at the Indianapolis Colts. That's going to be a Carson Wentz maybe return to form, but probably not game there. Tough road matchup in Week 1, but it's a game Seattle can absolutely win. But the one that intrigues me the most on this particular line of games is actually Week 2 against the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, they're coming out to Seattle for a 4:25 Eastern kick here. I think this is a game Seattle should be favored in. This is the type of game that if they're going to go make a run and make a push to win with Russell Wilson in one of his last years of his current contract. Maybe long-term he gets a deal done as well. This is a game Seattle needs to win. So 2 AFC South opponents to kick things off. At minimum, you got to figure a 1-1 start, if not 2-0. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to us here at Seattle Seahawks Today. Hit that big red button. It's youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe today. That way you don't miss out on any of the videos coming out almost every single day, including another one coming out tomorrow for you guys. So if you haven't already, go subscribe right now. All right, we'll talk about all these games here, then spend some more time in particular on the Saints. So Jacksonville, I'll jump around Week 8. Yeah, whatever. Trevor Lawrence, they're not that good of a football team, though. I am so intrigued that Seattle got 3 straight primetime football games. Home against the Rams, once again, on Thursday Night Football. That's a revenge game for Seattle after the way the season ended last year. At Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football is rather intriguing. So some extra prep time after that Rams game to take on the Big Ben-led Steelers, who are not the same football team and the same quarterback we saw back in his prime. The Saints in Week 7 is the most intriguing one here for me, though. This is a Monday Night Football game. The Saints on the road to take on the Seattle Seahawks. And in years past, it was Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll. The latter's true. The former is not. Drew Brees is done. This is either going to be a Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston-led game against Seattle. I don't think the Saints are going to be that good this year. So give me Seattle with a win in prime time on Monday Night Football. An actual good Monday night game, something we haven't had too many of in recent years. Now, what do you guys think is the single best Seahawks game this year? Is it one of the ones you went through? Is it one of the later ones in the back end of the season? I'm intrigued by that 3 stretch of games, but get your votes in for me in the comments section. Folks, you can bet on every single Seahawks game, including some lines available already at chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Seahawks125 when you use that URL right there, bottom of your screen. It gets you a 125% deposit bonus. And there are some fun season-long props you can already bet on here. Over under 9.5 wins. There's minus 135, plus 105 there. So some good over-unders at 9.5. I kind of like the over on that one, folks, and that's why it's the favorite so far. To win the NFC West, plus 300. Actually, pretty good value, as tough as that division is going to be. The Super Bowl as well, plus 2,200. Don't spend all your deposit money there, but head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Seahawks125. Put down $100, get $125 for free, and then throw $10, $15 on some of these props and make some money in the long run as well. All right, more games here. Well, a bye to start, so actually not a game here in Week 9. At the Green Bay Packers in Week 10, we'll come back to that. Arizona in Week 11. At Washington, Monday Night Football in Week 12. And then, oh, look, another back-to-back primetime game. Sunday Night Football at home with one less day in between the games than normal there with Monday to Sunday night. Two good games there in primetime, but it's the Packers one that intrigues me the most. For starters, is Aaron Rodgers going to be the quarterback for this team? I think the answer is yes, but I actually don't know for certain. It's a road game. It's not going to be easy if Rodgers is the quarterback, but if Rodgers is, this is going to be a game with massive playoff and seeding implications. Green Bay is a playoff favorite. Seattle, no surprise there, is a playoff favorite. So my expectation is that this game will have a big impact on the playoff race. Speaking of the playoff race, if you think the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs, then like this video. I am the first person to like it, actually, because I think they're going to. As good as the NFC West is, I'm not sold yet on San Francisco and the LA Rams, and especially the Arizona Cardinals. So if you agree with me, go like the video right now. All right, the Seahawks schedule here, the final 5 games. Again, they added the extra one to get to 17 games, 18 weeks here. We'll come back to the Rams. Houston's bad. That should be a win even on the road. I would bet that Justin Fields is starting for Chicago by the time we get to Week 16. The Lions could also be really bad. And I'm not even sold on Arizona. So there's a very real chance that, kind of like how last year's schedule eased up on Seattle down the stretch, there could be something similar this year, because I think Arizona's going to be, I think Cliff Kingsbury could get fired, but the toughest one by far for me, at least as we sit right now, on the road against the LA Rams. And this is a game that could very well determine the winner of the NFC West. The winner of that game is at least going to be among the favorites there. Maybe the Niners or maybe the Cardinals surprise me, but this game has massive implications for that division. So make your predictions for me here. Who's going to be the NFC West champions? Type S for the Seahawks. I better see plenty of S's in there. If you think it's the Rams, I guess you can type in R. 4 for the Niners, C for the Cardinals, but I better see plenty of S's in the comments section. So one more time, in case you weren't paying attention, the Seahawks 2021 schedule. Week 1 at the Colts. Week 2 versus the Titans. Week 3 at the Vikings. Week 4 at the 49ers. A very difficult opening stretch there with the Rams in Week 5, the Steelers in Week 6, and the Saints in Week 7. Honestly, that's one of the tougher opening 7-game stretches. Then it gets a little bit easier. Jacksonville in Week 8. Then you get the bye at a pretty decent time there in terms of where the bye falls. At the Packers in Week 10, Cardinals in Week 11, Washington on the road Monday Night Football Week 12, San Francisco again in Week 13, and then some of the easier games for this team down the stretch. At Houston Week 14, at the Rams in Week 15, home against the Bears and the Lions Week 16 and 17, and then at the Cardinals to round things out in Week 18.